Recreational marijuana has been legal in Colorado for almost a year, generating over $50 million in taxes and fees for the state. It's the subject of a new MSNBC series, Pot Barons of Colorado, premiering this Sunday.
Since it legalized the sale of recreational marijuana last January, Colorado has become a new tourist destination as people flock to the world's emerging marijuana mecca. This holiday season, there's even a new weed app showing where to buy it. Denver now has more marijuana dispensaries than liquor stores or Starbucks.
That one's a strong ski, but you'll definitely get a nice buzz from that.
Marijuana tourists can buy the weed in all shapes and sizes, not just the leaf, but also in chocolate bars, sodas, and even pumpkin pie.
I can help the next person in line.
In Jamie Perino's Denver store, Euflora, a world map shows the many states and nations where her customers come from.
Good morning. How are you guys?
All right.
Oh, wow. There's a big line.
Some really good-looking bud here, man.
Meanwhile, as tourists descend on the Mile High City, Colorado's new marijuana entrepreneurs, like Jamie Perino and Trip Kieber of Dixie Elixirs, are heading out, looking to establish beachheads in the next states to embrace the sale of recreational marijuana. States like Nevada, which may vote on recreational sales of marijuana in 2016.
It would be really amazing to get a location on this strip.
The growing trend to legalize pot is Christmas music to the ears of Colorado's new marijuana mavens. For MSNBC, I'm Alex Wagner.
And Pot Barons of Colorado premieres Sunday night on MSNBC at 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific time. Joining me now is the CEO of Dixie Brands, Inc., Trip Kieber. Thanks for joining us, Trip.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me as well. Good afternoon, Dorian.
I was going to ask you about some of that pumpkin pie. So we saw 2 more states in D.C. legalize marijuana this month. How fast do you see this spreading across the U.S.?
Dorian, this business is growing, and I've said it, at hyper speed. We're looking at hockey stick growth with the legalization underway now in Oregon and Alaska, and certainly the decriminalization most recently in Washington, D.C. We're seeing an incredible amount of momentum here across the United States. It's an incredibly exciting time to be in the cannabis industry.
So what do you think will primarily drive the expansion? Is it changing attitudes among the public, some public health studies, or is it state revenue projections? That's a lot of money in the state of Colorado in just a year. What do you think will drive the expansion?
I think it's all of the above, Dorian. I mean, for the first time ever in the history of our country, more than 50% of the American public believes in the legalization of adult-use marijuana and or medical marijuana, coupled with the fact that we're generating tens of millions of dollars in sales tax revenue, and then most importantly, certainly jobs. In the state of Colorado, we have over 12,000 jobs that are credited directly to the industry, and so these are all key performance indicators that are providing for a positive experience, I think, within the states. I think the country is ultimately going to look at it at the federal level in the not too distant future.
Now, last week we saw an official Bob Marley blend is on the way.
Yeah.
Is this the future of marijuana? Mass commercialization, conglomerates coming in and taking over? Are you worried about this?
No, not at all. Actually, I support it fully. I mean, I was incredibly proud of Privateer Holdings. Brendan Kennedy, the CEO, and I are close personal friends. I was highly supportive of the move with the launch of Marley Naturals, which ostensibly has almost $50 million behind it. That, I think, says volumes about where this industry is treading. I mean, you're seeing a significant commercialization across the country. In the state of Colorado, we have over 9% of the population on a monthly basis using marijuana recreational each and every month. So I think it's an incredibly exciting time. I think it's going to pay massive benefits both politically, legally, and then most importantly socially as we see a expansion in this effort.
So you said it's an exciting time, and you know marijuana is going mainstream, and companies like yours are offering Green Friday bargains on marijuana-related products. Now, explain what that is.
That's right. Well, I mean, it just recently popped up. I mean, retailers have Black Friday. Now the cannabis industry has Green Friday. And we have a Dixie One product, which is a white chocolate peppermint square that is certainly being released in honor of the holidays. And as a wholesale producer of these infused products, the demand from the retailers is beyond anything that we could have imagined. So I think as the industry continues to mature, again, you pointed out we only have about 10, 11 months under our belt, we're going to see some real real interesting things come out as the country continues to open its mind as to what adult use of medical marijuana can do for our country.
Now, a lot of people were surprised when it was announced that pot sales in Colorado actually dropped in September. So was that an anomaly, and is this the reason for Green Friday?
Well, I don't think so. I think what you're seeing is the evolution of a business. Again, the business is only 11 months old, and so we are going through cyclicals. Obviously, this plant is not digital, and so it takes time to grow it. And to grow good quality connoisseur cannabis takes not only an art, but a skill. And so I think the demand, from our perspective, is certainly outweighing the supply. And so you have facilities like mine that are coming online that previously could produce 500 units a day, and now are producing 1,000 units an hour. I think you'll start to see that sales volume increase dramatically as we get into the season as well as into 2015.
I have so many more questions for you, but we're out of time. CEO of Dixie Brands Incorporated, Trip Kieber, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks so much. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving. The 6-part MSNBC documentary series will air Sundays at 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific beginning November 30th. That's all for now. Alex will be back on Monday. The Ed Show is up next.